Welcome to another movie review, as we're going to be talking about one of the greatest true stories ever told. The story of how Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum saved us from an alien race on the 4th of July. That movie being, of course, the movie entitled Independence Day, directed by Roland Emmerich and co-written by Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, I believe. Let me just make sure. I'm not sure. Yes, I was right. All right, Independence Day. Let's make this short and sweet. This movie is awesome. I love Independence Day. I love this movie ever since I was 6 years old when I first saw it in theaters with my father. And 21 years later, my love for it continues to grow. In my opinion, this is probably Roland Emmerich's best movie compared to everything else he's done because he's made more misses than hits. I think my two favorite movies from him are this. Actually, I'll say three. My three favorites are this, Godzilla, and The Day After Tomorrow, which I'll eventually get to down the road. But anyway, we're talking about Independence Day. Number one, the cast. The cast, you have Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Robert Loggia. I don't need to keep going because those are the four guys that you need altogether. Who cares? Of course, this movie is so far-fetched, it's so ridiculous, but you know what? I don't care. You know why? Because it's so goddamn entertaining. You got that classic, Will Smith charm that he brings to his character, which is, and it comes across as so likable, even when he is being a little full of himself. You know what? You like the guy. And of course, you got Jeff Goldblum, who's pretty much playing Ian Malcolm, only he's a cable repairman, and it's hilarious. You got Robert Loggia, who's like this stern military guy, who's like, take those sons of bitches down. And you got Bill Pullman, who plays the president, and Lone Star is running the country, which is great. And of course, you got the actual aliens themselves, which to me, next to the alien design from the Alien franchise, this is probably the best design for any alien I've seen, and something that I can realistically buy if aliens were to come from outer space and land on my doorstep. They would either look like the xenomorphs or the motherfuckers in this thing, because I like the designs of them. They're not... Because I really do like the designs of them. And like I said, I love this movie. Its practical effects and its use of CG effects are really, really well done. Its use of miniatures are exceptionally well done too. The one thing I'll give Roland Emmerich credit for is that he does use a mixture of miniatures, practical effects, and CG, especially from his movies in the 90s. So it's like he does appreciate that old school style of filmmaking while bringing in those new elements, which of course by 96 standard CG was a very new element. But I think he was able to blend all three of those really, really well into this movie, which is something to take notice of because it looks fantastic, especially on Blu-ray. This movie still holds up. It really does still hold up. It's a very timeless movie, and I love it a lot. And like I said, and the action set pieces in this movie are really, really well done. Of course, you got the initial alien attack where the infamous scene where they destroy the White House. Bye bye White House. You got the scenes where Will Smith and Harry Connick Jr. take flight, and they have that that either you could call it either a ripoff, a blatant ripoff, or tribute to the the X-wings taking on the TIE fighters in the very first Star Wars. But this movie is just so great. Of course, Of course, how can I forget Randy Quaid, who plays Dusty, this drunk Rusty. I'm sorry, who plays Russell, this drunk who's like, I was abducted by aliens guy. I don't know. I like his character too, and I also like the fact that at the end of the movie he kind of redeems himself and he earns back the respect of his kids when he makes a sacrifice and takes down the alien mothership, which pretty much enables everyone to take down the aliens who are pretty much positioned themselves in every single major city. And of course, that's the infamous line where Robert Loggia is like, "Tell them how to take those sons of bitches down." I don't know why. I just love when Robert Loggia does that. It's hilarious. And also, how can I forget? This movie also has Brett Spiner as Dr. Yukon. Yukon, or Oaken, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. Some weird ass name. Yeah, Brett Spiner's in this. He plays the scientist. He's like, all the gadgets and gizmos and woo! This eccentric scientist guy. Of course, but unfortunately, he dies because the alien. We find out the aliens in this movie, they contact through telepathy, and the alien that Will Smith kind of like punches in the face after like his ship crash lands. He says, "Welcome to Earth." Bam. That's what I call a close encounter. Anyway, so yeah, he takes that alien, brings it to the military base, and Dr. Oaken's like, yeah, chose to experiment. The alien causes havoc, kills the scientists and everyone in the room, uses him as a way of talking, and pretty much kills the guy, which is sad. Sick of prayer. And of course, this movie's not without its emotional death, because I like the scene where the president's wife dies. To me, it's very emotional. I like Bill Pullman, and I like how Bill Pullman pulled that off with the scene with his daughter. I thought it was pretty nice. I like the relationship between Vivica A. Fox and Will Smith. I think they got very good chemistry. I like, Vivica's character as the mother who has to work as an exotic dancer as a way to support, her son. I like the budding relationship between, Dylan and Will Smith's character. I think that they could have got, I think what they did with those two was good. You can clearly tell he loves both of them, which is always good. And I also like the relationship between Jeff Goldblum and his wife. They're kind of very estranged, and at the end of the movie, they kind of work their way back to being together again. And I also like Judd Hirsch, who plays Jeff Goldblum's father. He has a lot of funny, cheesy lines, like, "I look like a schlemiel meeting the president." Like, "You punched the president?" Like, yeah, Judd Hirsch is kind of got those cheesy one-liners that are pretty funny. And like I said, the movie Independence Day. I'm going all over the map here because this is such a it's just such an entertaining movie, and especially at the last half of the movie where you got the far-fetched idea of the president fighting his own battle, which is just ridiculously stupid. But in a movie like this, you kind of buy it because it's like a last stand of defense. And then you get fucking Randy Quaid, who just flies up to the alien mothership and does this whole "I'm back," and then that's the explosion. Then you got the idea of Jeff Goldblum setting the alien mothership a computer virus, something completely ridiculous. This advanced super duper alien technology is vanquished by a human computer virus. Fucking love this movie. It's so off the wall, but so awesome. And then we get to the end where the computer virus saves the world, and that's the end of the movie. And it couldn't have ended any other way. So yes, Independence Day to me is a solid 9 out of 10. It does have some stuff that is, a hindrance. Number one, too many characters, and a majority of those characters don't even get little to no screen time and mean nothing to the overall plot, aside from people like Goldblum, Bill Pullman, and Will Smith. Everyone else is just there, and that does take away from the grading because too many characters, especially if they become superfluous characters that you clearly don't need, it takes a lot away. But anyway, again, solid 9 out of 10. Everything else from it, the movie's great. Cheesy writing, awesome effects for its time. Nolan Emmerich doing a solid job of directing. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, Independence Day is the greatest true story ever told. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.